Welcome to part two, where we kind of finish things up. I want to show you how I put some grass on, and stuff like that on the lion here for Kingdom Death Monster. We are going to take this, and like I said, we've got the 4 survivors in the lion. That's the first part. When we start to move on to the next part, we're going to put that antelope together, and I think you put a couple more survivors together with the things that you attribute and stuff like that. But we're going to take this from the very beginning all the way to the end. So you see the assembly, how to paint it, and how to do it, and be very thorough with this. Let's go down the table and let's just kind of get this finished up. The big thing here is we want to get this base really kind of squared away. So I'm going to take some white glue and an old brush, very old brush. I mean, this is my glue brush. I mean, I try to clean it the best I can, but it's getting to the point where I'm going to have to make a new glue brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this glue nice and thick on here, and try not to get any on the model itself, but you want to go in there and you want to get that nice and thick in there, because what we're going to do is we're going to get some flocking, and we're going to do a couple different things here. So we want to make sure that it's nice and thick in there. So I'm going to finish this up and then I'm going to show you the next step. See, I got the glue on there nice and heavy and it's nice and thick, which is exactly what we want. Now I'm going to take some of this stuff here. You can get it you get a lifetime supply virtually if you just go down to a Hobby Lobby. As you can see, unfortunately this is not European friendly price, but Hobby Lobby, it's only 13 bucks, but you get a lot here. And what I have here underneath, all it is just a shoebox lid. I go down to a shoe store and ask for some shoe boxes, and I just pour this on. The heck with it, right? Just pour it on, because I'm going to put it back, all the excess back in there. And you take your back of your brush and you just kind of work this in here. And that's all you got to do, and you'll see the spots that you miss and everything like that. So I'm going to roll this around here, and voila. Now that's pretty boring if you ask me. It's just a brown thing, you know. So we're going to jazz it up a little bit, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But first, let's get all this cleaned up. Now here, this is homemade flock. I made this myself. That's because I'm cheap, and that's okay. Now, for this, and forgive my reach in front of you guys, I'm going to use the actual bottle here and just going to make some spots, some high spots of, don't worry where the glue goes, it's okay. And it can kind of go all over the place for all you care. And you can always clean it off. I like to really kind of just be a little adventurous and just put things in certain areas. So I'll see how it turns out. And if I don't like it, I'll just fix it and do it again. Now, I always tell you that I have this here, and you can see how caked up this is. This is that old brush I was talking about. And, you know, don't worry about where the glue goes. You can just wipe it off with your finger. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put him in here like so, and just kind of do that. And what I'm going to do, and I'm sorry for hitting the camera, is I'm going to roll that on there, and then I'm just going to kind of, I know what you're saying, oh my god, you're going to kill everything that you were working on. No, not at all. And you can just kind of move things around a little bit. That's what I usually do. You're going to get a lot of this on your fingers, which is okay. And I like doing this method because it really is kind of creative, if you want to think. You don't know how it's going to turn out, but now all of a sudden you have like little grass patches under here with your lions, and you can see there's some grass and there's some dirt, because nothing's ever secure here. So we're going to get this flock out of the way, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Now what I like to do is sometimes take a few of these bigger pieces and just kind of smush them in there and get them a little glue on there, and just kind of work it in there, just squish it in there. And you'll see why I did that in a second. And you can see I just threw a couple in here just for effect. But we're going to add some more stuff, so let's go to the next step. Now next we have what is called lichen. Okay, this is kind of a spring mix. It goes great in your salad as well as on your figures. I'm kidding. Don't try to eat this, please. I don't want anybody to get hurt. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to try to place it in a couple places and see where I like it. And then once I figure that out, I'm going to add some glue and add it in there. So I found what works for me because I want it to feel like he's going through a heavy grassed area. And you can use some static grass here. I tend to like a little bit of this as well. And I put some glue down and I kind of worked it in there. And you can see how this all goes. And it really has a feel like he's coming through the prairie, kind of. So there you go. We're going to let that dry and see how it all dries up. Maybe we'll add some more. Remember, it's your discretion. You do what you want, and you do what makes you think makes it look the way you want it to. Next, I'm going to take some Ushabi bone, and I'm going to take it as much as I can off the brush. And we're just going to lighten up these bases of these figures, and we're going to work on these guys a little bit. And just, as you can see, I've already done one coat. I just want to go over, and you can see how the faces all of a sudden, with that dark wash that we put in there, really start to stand out. I'm sorry for hitting the table. Boy, oh boy, I gotta get a little better at that. And it just really, really lightens them up and really makes it, well, kind of creepy if you ask me. And that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to finish the rest of these guys and then we'll move on. The next thing I want to do is I want to fix these lanterns, because if you notice, they don't look right because I just put a lot of white on them and covered up some of the detail of the lantern itself. So we're going to retouch that up and just really square things out. So we're going to use a Balthazar gold for that. So I'm going to get this open and we'll start painting it. All I'm trying to do here is just, like I just did here, is just etch over the areas and really just kind of just touch there, clean up some of the stuff so it looks pretty decent. And I'm going to keep going on this and just clean this all up so we just have a lantern that actually looks like a lantern. Next, what I want to do is lighten up the girl's hair. It's too dark, it shows no definition, and I've got to fix that. So I'm going to take just a little XV88, really take it off the brush, and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. So all we're going to do is, once we take all that off, we're just going to very lightly go over hair and give it some definition. And you'll see when this dries how it'll really kind of just... She has dark hair, yes, we know. But the whole key of it is it's not so dark that it doesn't have any definition or the light doesn't come off it or anything like that. And that's all we're trying to do. And with this little nice light brush, all we're trying to do is just bring some of that out. Now we've got to fix her face and a bunch of other things that we're going to do. And really try to pronounce some of the features that she has. And as you can see, I've already done this girl here, and you see how it all just kind of stands out. And now her hair has, it looks like when the light hits it, okay, that she has dark hair, but it's more pronounced. And that's what we're looking for. Next thing is we want to put a little detail to their flesh tone. So we're going to take the Kesla flesh, and all we're going to do is just take a little on our brush, and we are going to wipe a good part of it off our brush. And we just kind of want to hit some of the higher points of this guy and really start bringing them out. As you can see, I started working on some of the chest. We don't want to take away any of the detail that he has. So we just kind of very lightly want to hit some of these higher areas. His bicep. We don't want to take all the wash out. What we want to do and just kind of work our way through, just nice and light over the chest, over the upper arm here, just kind of start bringing some of that musculature, which I butcher that word every single time, out, and not let the wash totally control it. And just taking and going over the higher points of the model. And you'll see that you'll get more detail. And you're going to want to do this a few times. And you want to go over his thighs. And you're going to work all the way through. So I'm going to keep on going, and we'll show you how it is when we're done. And there we go. We've got everybody right where we want them to be, ready to go. Let's go on top, up top, and get ready to play for once. Kingdom Death Monster, instead of showing you how to put it all together. We'll get my final thoughts. And next time you see these guys, they'll be on the battlefield. So there you have it. Nothing too complicated. Just keep it simple. Just keep it nice and simple, and you're going to have a good result and have a great time. The main thing is to have fun with the game and be happy with the work that you did. This is a simple version that anybody can do. All right? There's ways you can take and really detail these guys a lot more. But I just feel for a beginner, especially with a very complicated and complex model such as these, taking your time, having fun, and keeping it basic, and just keep working towards the final goal. Number one, you're going to enjoy the game. Number two, you're going to be happy with what you do. And number three, most of all, it's just going to be fun. Fun's really the word that we're looking for here in doing this. So that's it with part two. Part three, we'll be working on the antelope, and I don't know if we do other survivors when we do the antelope, but we'll figure it out. We're going to learn the game together, and we're going to keep on going. That's it for this week. This week? No, just this episode of Kingdom Death Monster, painting the figures. Part two. Look for part three in probably about a week. And until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We will see you soon.